Former Donald Trump campaign boss Steve Bannon and several others have been indicted for fraud over their We Build the Wall campaign. So before I get to the details of these charges, let me remind you of what We Build the Wall was. So this was their way of raising money to build Donald Trump's wall, raising lots of money from many people, many conservatives fooled into this BS to give money to building Trump's wall. So you see here, this is the website. Scroll down, they hit $25 million, 100 miles ready to build, 500,000 donors. And you got some quotes here at the bottom from people like Donald Trump Jr. This is private enterprise at its finest, doing it better, faster, cheaper than anything else. And what you guys are doing is pretty amazing. It started from a grassroots effort and it's doing some wonderful things for an important issue. Congressman Louis Gohmert, they did this wall beautifully. It's just incredible. Kimberly Guilfoyle, Don and I wanted to come down to see what's going on here, and it's really impressive at what you've been able to accomplish. Corey Lewandowski, people can't appreciate how beautiful this wall is until they come see it for themselves. Oh, sounds wonderful. Except, of course, they were using this to funnel money to themselves. So you may have heard about the wall on places like Fox News. This is Kolfage, Brian Kolfage, a veteran who was the face of this We Build the Wall campaign. He's one of the people that have been indicted along with Steve Bannon. So you may have seen it on Fox News. Let me give you some of the details here straight from the Southern District of New York. Leaders of We Build the Wall online fundraising campaign charged with defrauding hundreds of thousands of donors. Brian Kolfage, Stephen Bannon, and two others alleged to have funneled hundreds of thousands of dollars from the organization to Kolfage. All four defendants allegedly profited from their roles in the scheme. If there's somebody in your life that was fooled by this, maybe, just maybe, there's a potential here for those people to wake the hell up and realize that this fraud isn't just about, this building the wall, but this also extends to everything else people like this touch. These fraudsters frauding people they pretend to support, pretend to be fighting for, these conservative voters, reality using them to take their money and fund their lifestyles. So let me give you some quotes here directly from this report. Acting U.S. Attorney Audrey Strauss said, quote, as alleged, the defendants defrauded hundreds of thousands of donors, capitalizing on their interest in funding a border wall to raise millions of dollars under the false pretense that all of that money would be spent on construction. While repeatedly assuring donors that Brian Kolfage, the founder and public face of We Build the Wall, would not be paid a cent, the defendants secretly schemed to pass hundreds of thousands of dollars to Kolfage, which he used to fund his lavish lifestyle. We thank the USPIS, which I will get to in a minute, another amazing piece of this news, for their partnership in investigating this case, and we remain dedicated to rooting out and prosecuting fraud wherever we find it. So the USPIS, you may already kind of know what it is. It is the United States Postal Inspection Service, which is the criminal investigating arm of the Postal Service. So while the Postal Service right now is being attacked by the Trump administration, these are the same people that work to help arrest Steve Bannon. Incredible. Now, more details here. Inspector in charge, Philip R. Bartlett, said, quote, the defendants allegedly engaged in fraud when they misrepresented the true use of donated funds. As alleged, not only did they lie to donors, they schemed to hide their misappropriation of funds by creating sham invoices and accounts to launder donations and cover up their crimes, showing no regard for the law or the truth. This case should serve as a warning to other fraudsters that no one is above the law, not even a disabled war veteran or a millionaire political strategist. Just a couple more pieces here. Kolfage repeatedly and falsely assured the public that he would, quote, not take a penny in salary or compensation, and that 100% of the funds raised will be used in the execution of our mission and purpose, because as Bannon publicly stated, we're a volunteer organization. Those representations were false. In truth, Kolfage, Bannon, Badolato, and Shea received hundreds of thousands of dollars in donor funds from We Build the Wall, which they each used in a manner inconsistent with the organization's public representations. In particular, Kolfage covertly took for his personal use more than $350,000 in funds that donors had given to We Build the Wall, while Bannon, through a nonprofit organization under his control, Nonprofit One, I mean, couldn't be more creative than that. Nonprofit One. Under Nonprofit One, received over $1 million from We Build the Wall, at least some of which Bannon used to cover hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bannon's personal expenses. To conceal the payments to Kolfage from We Build the Wall, Kolfage, Bannon, Baldalto, and Shea devised a scheme to route those payments from We Build the Wall to Kolfage indirectly through Nonprofit One and a shell company under Shea's control, among other avenues. They did so by using fake invoices and sham vendor arrangements, among other ways, to ensure, as Kolfage noted in a text message to Badolato, that his pay arrangement remained confidential and kept on a need-to-know basis. They have everything on these people. Like, yes, of course, it's going to go through a process, but it seems pretty clear they have enough here to follow through with this. So this carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. So unlikely, with any of these cases, it's unlikely they'll serve the maximum, though fingers crossed. We're going to have to wait and see. But man, this is one incredible story. And I think there's one more piece here I wanted to share. Yes. So this is from NBC or CNBC. Prior to his campaign to crowdfund the border wall, Kolfage had been involved in a string of far-right news blogs and groups, one of which had been scrubbed from Facebook for allegedly using fake accounts to drive up website traffic. Some of the sites peddled false conspiracy theories and racist content. As his wall funding campaign gained national attention, Kolfage had frequently appeared on Fox News and Fox Business, where he defended Trump and slammed his critics for suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. Now, if that's Trump derangement syndrome, then what do you call... How many people is it now that have been charged from the Trump campaign? So I have a running list here. There may be more I'm missing. Steve Bannon, Paul Manafort, Michael Flynn, Michael Cohen, George Papadopoulos, Roger Stone, Rick Gates. This is... Look, really the only silver lining throughout this entire... these past 4 years when it comes to Trump, the only silver lining really is that there's at least some people being held accountable for their actions. So, look, let's hope once Trump is out, first of all, let's hope he loses in November. But also at the same time, look, I'm not going to be satisfied if it's just Trump losing and that's it. No, they need to go after him. He needs to be charged. There's crime all around him from every which way, whether it's his personal businesses or whether it's his campaign. Absolutely, Trump needs to continue to be investigated and pursued. And let's hope that it amounts to something eventually, because I think a lot of people really are not going to be satisfied unless something happens with Trump. And look, when you have somebody with this much power, the president, and is connected to this much crime, you can't simply let that go. People in positions of power are the ones we should be focused on in terms of pursuing any sort of action against them. So this is a great start. All the people in his campaign that have been arrested is a great start. But let's hope this continues.